We're counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the Leadoff Show with Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, welcome into the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Milwaukee Brewers back in action today. It'll be Brandon Sproat on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against Gavin Williams of the Cleveland Guardians. A 6:40 first pitch from American Family Field, game number 71 of the season for the Crew. 44-26, the best, franchise best start through their first 70 games in Brewers history, topping 2018's 42-28. Here's the lineup trying to get win number 45 today.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the Leadoff Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Thanks to Lakeland University for being a part of the Leadoff Show all season long. Experience it your way. Lakeland.edu. First up for Cleveland today, Travis Bazzana at second base will lead off for the Guardians. Kyle Manzardo at first base will bat second. Brian Rocchio, the shortstop, will bat third. Rhys Hoskins, the DH, bats fourth. Daniel Schneemann, the third baseman, will bat fifth. David Fry in right field will bat sixth. Stephen Kwan in left field bats seventh today. Petey Halpin, the center fielder, will bat eighth. And Patrick Bailey is the catcher, batting ninth for Cleveland. Christian Yelich going to lead off for your Milwaukee Brewers today. He is the DH. Jackson Chourio in left field will bat second. Bryce Terang at second base will bat third. William Contreras is catching. He's in the cleanup role. Jake Bauers at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick back in right field will bat sixth. Garrett Mitchell's in center field, batting seventh today for Milwaukee. Cooper Pratt in his second career game at shortstop, and David Hamilton, third base, rounds things out for the Crew. Well, that was the story from yesterday. Brewers prospect Cooper Pratt making his major league debut, and really not too much exciting popping from it. A couple of you don't love to see on day one, but you chalk it up to first day jitters. An error from Cooper Pratt. He missed a sign per Pat Murphy as well. But the Brewers, a major league best, 31-13 now since April 26th, and they are 1-0 since Cooper Pratt has been called up. I got a bunch of comments from after the game yesterday I want to get to in regards to Brewers Guardians game one. Let's go through it on the rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the Leadoff Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Robert Gasser on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against Slade Ciccone. Slade. It's a real name. 1-2-3 inning from Gasser in the first. Ciccone would give up an infield single to Bryce Terang. The reason I highlight that was the first of just 4 hits in the contest for Milwaukee. Later on in this one, the Brewers would collect 3 more hits. That is all in the ball game. Bryce Terang would homer in the fourth. I'd play the highlight for you, but Cooper Pratt's parents were talking the entire time, and there was no call on Brewers TV. However, tying it up later on in the 7th inning, Aaron Ashby came in for Robert Gasser in relief. Gasser, probably his best outing this season, definitely his best outing this season, his best since returning from Tommy John. 5 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts for Gasser in the performance. Joel Kuhnel would come in for relief in the top part of the 6th, just to get Gasser out of that. And Ashby would give up 1 run in that 7th inning. That was on a Gabriel Arias single that would score Stuart Fairchild and knot things up 1-1. However, in the bottom part of the 7th, that's when Garrett Mitchell would come through with the big swing of the day.
As Mitchell sends one deep right center. Goodbye. The Brewers back in front with one swing of the bat. A frozen rope out of here. And it's 2-1 Milwaukee.
Garrett Mitchell had an infield single earlier in the ball game. The Brewers had just 4 hits, all coming from either infield singles or home runs, courtesy of Bryce Terang and Garrett Mitchell. In for relief in the 9th inning was Trevor McGill. He would strike out 2 of the 3 batters he faced, and looks to have been returning to full form here. The Brewers 2-1 over the Cleveland Guardians, each team with just 4 hits in the contest. And the Brewers, as I said, 31-13 since April 26. Milwaukee's franchise best 44-26 through its first 70 games. The Brewers are now 19-5 in the first game of a series, including 12 consecutive opening wins. The team is 10-8 in one-run ball games now, and improving to 7-10 when recording 5 or fewer hits this year in a game. It's their first win with 5 or fewer hits since the end of May back against Houston. The Brewers now 20-11 and interleague play this year. Bryce Terang, that was his 11th home run of the season, put the Brewers up 1-0 in that 4th inning. 10 of his 11 home runs this year have come off right-handed pitching. Versus righties this year, Terang is hitting .303, .422 on base, .556 slugging, and 10 home runs. After the game was over, let's catch up with Brewers second baseman Bryce Terang.
Bryce, the pitching has kind of quietly held things together with all these moving pieces. How confident are you in kind of whoever is out there keeping these games close?
Yeah, our pitching staff's done a phenomenal job. When their name gets called, they go out and deliver. So it's been great to watch them go out and compete, and that's part of the game. Fighting those injuries or whatever it is, other guys coming up and filling in their roles. So they've done a great job.
Bryce, Murph said you weren't a huge fan of getting the day off on Sunday, but for you to get a day and then the off day yesterday, 2 days, off your feet, what does that do for you at this point in the season?
I don't know, maybe just help your body out a little bit, or your mind. So it was good.
How do you think Cooper handled today, starting with going out there alone to start the game?
Yeah, that was kind of funny. That was like a last-minute decision we all kind of made, just like let him run out and take the field, and then we waited until he looked back, kind of like, where's everybody at? So it was cool. Try to keep it light for him. I know he's thinking about a million things, just like everybody on their debuts. So try to keep it light, remind him that this is a game and it's fun. So he's excited. He was excited for sure.
Did you try to help him out? You were talking to him by the cage. I mean, it's not too long ago you had that to settle those nerves a little.
Yeah, it's just if he had any questions or running over the signs again or anything, just being there to help him out if he ever had a question or something like that. So, you come up here, it's a little, we got different signs and all that stuff. So running that over, trying to just tell him to relax and have fun. So.
What do you think of the double play that he helped turn at the top of the second there?
Yeah, that helps for sure. Getting it out of the way, getting that first ground ball out of the way is a big thing. You kind of like, all right, it's you remind yourself it's still baseball.
Bryce, you were away for the tournament for a lot of the spring, but he's had 2 big league camps. Where are you? Do you feel like in the comfort level of being a double play caller?
Yeah, I mean, we got some work in spring, and obviously here we talk and communicate a little bit. So things happen fast. You get used to somebody fast, and he's a good defender, and we'll get it going.
How do you feel when you see these young guys come up? You were that guy not that long ago. How veteran do you feel at this stage of your career?
I mean, this is the first time like an infielder, I think, for me as a shortstop just came up and debuted, or this would be a first shortstop that's debuted since I've been here. So just like I said, just any questions. If he has to ask any questions defensively, offensively, or just kind of being here to help him out, make sure he's doing things right, and let him enjoy the time being here. So
there is Bryce Terang after the Brewers 2-1 victory over Cleveland. Pratt would finish the day 0 for 3 groundouts with an error in the performance. Garrett Mitchell, his 5th home run of the season, the go-ahead shot in the 7th, 440 feet, his longest career home run as well. Mitchell, 333, 388, 615 with 8 doubles, a triple, and 4 homers over his last 23 games now. But Robert Gasser, also a storyline in this one. Gasser, his longest start and first scoreless start since 2024 against Chicago, and it was not looking great the first 4 for sure this season. But Gasser, 5 2/3, just 2 walks, 2 hits, and 5 strikeouts. He spoke after the game as well.
How were you able to settle in and get as deep as you did today?
I think in the middle innings I found a groove of getting ahead early and getting some early contact. Those first 2, I had some longer innings, but like I said, in the middle innings got able to get ahead early.
Was it a specific adjustment or usage?
No, it was just realizing like what pitches I'm trying to throw for contact and what pitches I'm trying to get swing and miss, early counts. Trying to induce that early contact.
I kind of the fastballs a little bit, like 2-seam, 4-seam up, 4-seam whip.
Yeah, the early counts too, and then getting to the 4 late above.
We talked about this last time, Robert, but getting the sort of building the pitch count, building the innings back from surgery. Do you feel like you're continuing to do that? Like, does it feel more normal deep in games? I guess?
Yeah, I mean today, even in the 6, I felt good going out for it, and I was able to get that punch out at the end, and then I felt my arm felt good, so I was really happy about it.
We just asked McGill about Ashby, first in the majors to double-digit wins. Is that how you probably drew it up?
Oh yeah, that's the goal, is get Aaron to the All-Star game and get him a record. So.
Cooper. How do you think he just handled today and playing behind you?
Great. Coop's already he's already been a pro. He's my locker mate in Nashville, so got to know him very well there. And I'm just really excited for him. He's a great player and a great person, so I know he's going to contribute to this team.
What did you think of the double play that he helped turn or started?
That was awesome. That fired me up. I've had him behind me before, and those are the ones that I know he's going to make.
Robert Gasser on the Brewers' performance yesterday. Cooper Pratt, his major league debut, the 5th Brewer to make his MLB debut this season, joining catcher Jefferson Caro, Shane Drowan, Coleman Crowe, and Brian Fitzpatrick. Let's hear from Cooper Pratt after the big day.
Handled your debut.
It was exciting. I mean, obviously I didn't get my first knock or anything like that, but we won. So vibes were fantastic. Heart was rushing the first at bat and the first time I ran out there, but it was surreal. And then especially when McGill came in and all the lights flicked off, that was pretty cool.
You talked about maybe wanting to try to find moments to soak it in. Were you able to at all, Cooper?
Yeah, and then it went back to baseball, and I tried to just focus on the ball and the bat.
What were those moments that you were able to sort of just take it in?
First at bat, I kind of looked around for a sec. I mean, when we ran out, they let me run out by myself. That was pretty cool. First at bat, took the first one. I was like, okay, now we go. And then I saw it really well. Like, I saw everything really well. I just didn't, nothing went through. But no, it's pretty surreal.
When you get out there at the start of the game and turn around and you're the only one out there, what goes through your mind?
Well, Rang was like, all right, go ahead. I was waiting for him to go out, and then I was going to follow. But no, it was cool. And then looking out, the fans, it was pretty cool, man.
Take us through the defensive play in the top of the second that you started the double play. The top of the inning.
I mean, routine ground ball, flip it to Rang, and Rang threw it to first and got out of the inning, I think. I think it was an inning.
He got you the ball for that, I see. That's
yeah. I didn't know they did that. But, yeah, no,
you had so many friends and family here. How important was that for you, and how did that play for you out there?
Well, it was kind of cool that the off day was yesterday, and then when I found out they were all able to like get on flights or drive and make it up here. So a lot of friends and family were here, family that I haven't seen in a long time. It was special, man. Special. They were all here. I couldn't really see them. I tried to look into the crowd, couldn't really see them. So but I knew they were there. But it was cool.
What are you going to remember most from tonight in your debut?
We won. That's for sure. Maybe I'll remember the ball that I threw halfway up the net, but got out of the way early.
Cooper, there's a lot of kids watching you back at the farm, back where we work out at. What would you send a message to them right now?
RPA?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Keep practicing. I mean, there's a couple guys that came from the farm. Kemp's working. Kemp's in AAA. Slade. It's a bunch of guys that are making their way. But, yeah, keep working.
Cooper, I talked to Sal before the game started about his debut, which wasn't all that. Your teammates all said it was a blur for them. Is today or tonight kind of a blur for you right now?
I mean, I remember watching Sal's debut. I just got drafted and I was in Arizona, so they had it on the TVs and stuff. But, I mean, it's obviously not a blur right now. But in the grand scheme, it probably will be in like a week.
There is Cooper Pratt. Just give it a week, and it'll be a complete blur to Cooper Pratt. Trevor McGill closing it out for the Brewers yesterday as well. Want to get one more thing in here for you. The leadoff show, Tommy Wortz, want to get you ready for Brewers Guardians game 2, wrapping up game 1. McGill, remember the rocky start this year. Trevor McGill had a 14.40 ERA in his first 6 appearances this year, in which he gave up 8 earned runs over those 5 innings of work. Since then, now has a 1.71 ERA in his last 21 outings, 21 innings, 4 earned runs. Opponents hitting just 173 off of Trevor McGill in that time. Remember that 14.40 mark to start. His ERA now is down to 4.15. He's dropped his ERA over 10 points with his performance as of late, and he spoke after the game.
Trevor, do you feel like you found the gear you were looking for in terms of just the crispness of the stuff recently?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think it's coming out well right now. Getting ahead of a lot of the hitters and happy with where I'm placing my pitches.
How does that just continue to build, like, appearance to appearance?
I just kind of same stuff I felt, I've been doing since last year. Just had, like I said, I had those couple games early on and just kind of everybody scrambling, myself included. Now it's just kind of back to where I think I should be and putting down some good innings.
How much has the success and like the quality of the starts of the rotation
Huge.
allowed you guys, right, to be lined up properly in your lanes?
Huge. I mean, starters give you 6, then it gives Murphy, Hookie, and Jim down there a little bit more of an option, day to day, instead of being stretched thin. So tip the cap to those guys. I mean, Harrison, Miz, and now we got Gasser and all of our other guys going 6 innings. So just great pitching in our front line, and looking forward to some more of it.
What are your thoughts on Cooper Pratt's debut, especially that defensive play in the second inning that he had?
I mean, the guy's got a great glove. I mean, he's probably a little nervous. Foot got stuck. I mean, call it what you want, but I don't think anybody's thinking twice about that. We all know what he does with his glove. So, great kid. Just we're all looking forward to seeing what he has in store for us down the line.
I should say turning the double play in the top of the second.
Oh,
play.
Excuse me. I was rolling out.
Didn't care about that
I was rolling out. I saw that one. That was great. I mean, we're gonna turn a lot of double plays with those two up the middle. They're just such good defenders. They're so good.
Trevor, 10 wins for Aaron Ashby. What do you make of that?
He's setting himself up today for one. I don't know. Just fantastic stuff. It's just kind of different storylines all over the place here in this clubhouse right now, and that's probably one of them. So. Again, just great effort out there.
There is closer Trevor McGill after the Brewers 2-1 win, and that Aaron Ashby comment at the end. Ashby credited with the win last night, now improving to 10-0 on the season. His 10 wins without a loss are the most in franchise history to start a season, and it breaks a record of CC Sabathia being 9-0 in 2008. He's just the fourth pitcher in franchise history with 10 consecutive winning decisions in a season. And we brought up these 1992 boys of Bosio and Eldred quite a bit last year. And that was back in 1992 because of Quinn Priester doing it with 12 consecutive winning decisions. Aaron Ashby joining that club now. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you some more information, an eye on the enemy report in regards to Brandon Sproat versus Gavin Williams. We have time today to go over our Building a Winner feature, as we will get you caught up on some minor league action that has happened over the last couple of days. We also have a parlay to make. We're going to hear from manager Pat Murphy before the game today. It all happens on the leadoff show right here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Brewers lineup, in case you missed it from earlier in the program. Christian Yelich, the DH, to lead off for Milwaukee. Jackson Chourio in left field will bat second. Bryce Terang at second base will bat third. William Contreras catching today. He will bat fourth. Jake Bauers at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in right field will bat sixth. Garrett Mitchell in center field bats seventh today. Cooper Pratt, the shortstop, batting eighth. And David Hamilton is at third base, rounds things out. Bats ninth today for the Crew.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something, or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Eye on the enemy. Taking a look at the pitching matchup today, starting things off with your Milwaukee Brewers. Brandon Sproat on the bump for Milwaukee. Sproat going to be making his 12th start of the season for the Crew. Last pitched on Wednesday in Las Vegas, in which Sproat went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts on just 68 pitches. Remember, a lot of us thinking, man, really would have loved to saw one more inning out of him. He left the game with a 3-1 lead. The team ended up losing that one 4-3. Remember, the team now 6-5 in starts made by Brandon Sproat. That outing against the Athletics was his second quality start of the season. Opponents are hitting .263 off Sproat. However, some positive in the month of June in those 2 games. Sproat ended March and April with a 6.75 ERA. In May, his ERA was 5.64. In the 2 starts against Colorado and the Athletics, 11 innings of work, 4 earned runs. That is good for a 3.27 ERA. And the strikeout numbers have been significantly down from that. Sproat, just 5 strikeouts across those 2 games. He has really not been that low for quite some time. 3 strikeouts last time he had one that low. You got to go back to his 3rd ever start with the Milwaukee Brewers, and the 2 strikeouts against Colorado is a season low, but working his way to just get some outs. He has never faced the Guardians before at American Family Field. Sproat 1-2 with a 6.33 ERA in 6 games and 5 starts. That is 19 earned over 27 innings. On the other side of things, Gavin Williams will be making his 3rd appearance against the Milwaukee Brewers and really hasn't done all that great. In his 9 innings of work, he's given up 7 earned runs against Milwaukee in this stretch. Williams, however, is having a much better season than that number. 9-3 on the year, a 3.32 ERA, 99 strikeouts. That is tied for 5th in all of baseball, and a whip of just 1.10 on the year for Williams. Over his last few games, he pitched against the Yankees twice as well, just as we saw with Slade Ciccone. He's given up 4 homers over the last 2 outings for Williams. He's gone 10 1/3, has an ERA of 5.23 against the New York Yankees in the month of June. In the Brewers lineup today, a little bit of history off Williams. While he has 11 strikeouts over his 9 innings of work, here's some of the guys in the lineup to know about with him. Jake Bauers, 1 for 2. Jackson Chourio, 1 for 6. Contreras, 1 for 2. Frelick, 1 for 5. And the only Brewer that has taken Gavin Williams deep, Garrett Mitchell, 1 for 2. Joey Ortiz, a hit and 1 at bat. Bryce Terang's 1 for 5. Vaughn, 1 for 4. And Yelich, 0 for 2 in his career off of Gavin Williams. The other side of things for the Cleveland Guardians, as we know, their lineup pretty beat up right now. No Chase DeLauder, no Jose Ramirez for the time being. Cleveland is currently in the AL standings right now in the AL Central. They are tied with the Chicago White Sox for atop the American League Central. Technically lower winning percentage. They are 39 and 34, while the White Sox 38 and 33. But the Milwaukee Brewers a 5-game lead on the St. Louis Cardinals and 44 victories on the season. With all of that information, let's make a parlay about today.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Betting odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Looking at the odds today for Brewers Guardians, minus 130. That's Milwaukee today. Guardians at plus 108. Minus 1.5 will get you plus 165 on the run line for the Crew. And the over-under set at 7.5 today. I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over in this one. I just see runs getting put up. Gavin Williams, while he's having a much better 2026 campaign than he has had against the Brewers, I'm trusting that the Brewers offense has figured something out here. And they're one of the best in the month of June right now. As far as to get a hit, well, we bet on Jackson Chourio yesterday, and it didn't work out. So I'm going to revisit that Jackson Chourio to get a hit today. And let's go on the other side, too. How about we'll take Schneemann for snowman in German. That's why we're taking it. And Cooper Pratt, right? I mean, maybe we should do Cooper Pratt and Schneemann. That's what we'll do. Over 7.5 runs, Daniel Schneemann to get a hit. Cooper Pratt to get a hit today. Pays plus 380, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. $5 wins you 19 over at Potawatomi. Guys, the Potawatomi Sportsbook, I do my best to just keep promoting them to let you know how amazing the Potawatomi Sportsbook is. But 2,000 square foot video board, if that doesn't do it for you. The brand new menu where they have build your own burgers, MVP turtle sundaes, appetizers with a ton of Wisconsin cheese covering them. The best thing to do is to utilize their shuttle service. It's about an hour. They're about to leave for their first one here in about 5 minutes, an hour before the game, hour 15 minutes actually. So they maybe already left 10 minutes ago. Hour and 15 minutes before the game, they start shuttle services. How do you get on their shuttle? Well, $5, same day wager, put it on a parlay, something like this. Over 7.5 total runs, Daniel Schneemann to get a hit, Cooper Pratt to get a hit today. $5 could win you $19, and it gets you on the Potawatomi Sportsbook shuttle to American Family Field. Today, a covered parking structure. Sounds pretty good with the rain going on in Milwaukee. You park for free over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Head over there, place a wager, show them at the counter. They'll get you a wristband. Once you get that wristband, you can get on their shuttle. They're going to take you up Canal Street. You're going to go watch the Brewers beat the Guardians today. You're going to get back on that shuttle. You can leave a little early. 7th inning, they start running shuttles back from AmFam, or up to an hour after the game. If you're someone who likes to hang out for a little bit, they will take you back from American Family Field back to the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You guys can end your night over at Potawatomi, and it really offers a chance for you to make money taking their shuttle service. There's no other shuttle service that offers that. And you were going to spend $5 on food or drink, which you can also do at the Potawatomi Sportsbook if you don't want to place a wager to get on their shuttle. Go grab a beer, grab something to eat, grab soda, whatever you want to do. Any money spent over at that Potawatomi Sportsbook will basically get you guys a wristband to take their shuttle service to American Family Field and back for each and every Brewers home game this season. One more time, the parlay for the people, over 7.5 runs. Daniel Schneemann to get a hit, Cooper Pratt to get a hit. We'll pay plus 380 courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. When we come back, I'm going to fill you guys in on some minor league updates. We know we had a couple of debuts as well across all of the affiliates with some call-ups for the Brewers affiliates, whether it was double A, triple A. We did have some new players in some new places. I'll get you guys filled in on that. Top of the hour, we're going to hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, before the game today. So make sure you guys are all caught up on what Pat Murphy's going to say in his pregame briefing at 6 o'clock right here on the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you ready for Brewers Guardians Game 2.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Quick update on the Brewers lineup. Nothing's changed, but in case you missed it from earlier, Yelich, Churio, Terang. There's your front three for Milwaukee. Churio in left field today. William Contreras, Jake Bauer, Sal Frelick. Frelick will play right field today. Garrett Mitchell, Cooper Pratt, David Hamilton. Pratt making his second career start. He'll be the starting shortstop tonight for the Crew.
Who's hurt? Who's getting close to coming back? Let's check out today's injury report. It's the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Wanted to update you guys on some injury news, actually, before we head over to the minor league report. Coleman Crow, Brian Fitzpatrick, DL Hall, Logan Henderson, Jared Koenig, Brandon Lockridge, Quinn Priester, Brandon Woodruff, Rob Zastryzny, Angel Serpa. I have updates on all of them. Coleman Crow noted increased right elbow discomfort after his outing in Las Vegas, diagnosed with a low-grade forearm flexor strain. He's going to be treated conservatively and aiming for an early July return. Brian Fitzpatrick noted left medial elbow discomfort after his last appearance and was diagnosed with a partial proximal UCL sprain. Currently seeking a second opinion with Dr. Meister, and that is scheduled for June 30th. DL Hall suffered an isolated left pectoralis minor strain. Is that just a pec strain? During his last appearance on June 4th. He is also being treated conservatively. Estimated return of late July. Logan Henderson progressively worsening lower back tightness during his last outing. It has progressed to throwing bullpens without issue. He is projected early July to return to Milwaukee. Jared Koenig being treated conservatively. He's on a rehab assignment. His next outing is scheduled for today, where he's going to pitch an inning, maybe 25 pitches, estimating a mid to late June. So we're in mid-June. Maybe Jared Koenig just around the corner. Brandon Lockridge, remember he had the knee laceration, a bone bruise, currently being treated conservatively, progressing through high-intensity end-stage baseball activities in preparation for a rehab assignment with an estimation of late June on his return. Quinn Priester, wrist symptoms worsening after last outing during a bullpen. He was taken off assignment, returned to Milwaukee to continue rehab. Plan is to follow up with Dr. Pearl yesterday and reestablish a plan of care. Brandon Woodruff, remember he had the dead arm last go around. He went 5 innings for High A Wisconsin, and you'll get a sneak peek with Pat Murphy as he says, yeah, his next start should be in the big leagues. Rob Zastryzny, an upper trap strain. Plan is to restart his throwing program and with the goal of a bullpen on Sunday, and his estimated return will be mid to late June. And Angel Serpa, we know surgery with Dr. Meister. He'll be back next year in 2027. With all of that, I gave you a little sneak peek of what Brandon Woodruff did.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature right here on the leadoff show. Brandon Woodruff had his Class A Wisconsin rehab stint. Oh, I can't tell you everything. Can't tell you everything yet. That would be burying the lead. Got to start with AAA.
Nashville Sounds.
Nashville yesterday lost 12-5, but had the long ball working in this one. Jefferson Caro, 2 for 5 with a homer and 3 runs driven in. Luis Matos, 1 for 3, a couple of walks. Luke Adams went 1 for 4. But Jet Williams, a career high tying 2 homers yesterday in one game. 3rd career game with 2 home runs. It's his first with the Nashville and the Brewers affiliations, as he did it last year a couple of times with Altoona and Binghamton. He has hit 8 home runs. That is second on the Sounds. He did hit his 9th home run today. I know that much. They had a game that began at noon. Let's get into some of these exciting debuts from Biloxi.
Biloxi Shuckers.
It rains every day in Biloxi. It rains every day wherever you are in Biloxi. I'm convinced you are covered in water because the game was postponed. So we'll have to wait to get any updates on an Andrew Fisher debut, a Josh Adamszewski debut. I just want to talk about these guys at AA after making the jump from the Timber Rattlers. And no, can't do it. 32-29, the Biloxi Shuckers are going to have another doubleheader probably tomorrow to make up for the rain delay. But high A,
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Braylon Payne, 2 for 4 with a homer in the contest yesterday, and Brandon Woodruff earned the win in Class A Wisconsin's 11-6 victory at Quad Cities. It's his first start on his current rehab assignment. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 82 pitches for Brandon Woodruff. On top of that, Pat Murphy says sitting 90, 92 on the fastball. We love to hear that. That would be fantastic if he can come back and provide that for the Milwaukee Brewers. And again, Pat Murphy will spoil it for you here. He says his next outing will be at the major league level. The Wilson Warbirds lost 5-4 yesterday to the Charleston River Dogs. 2 for 5, though. Brady Abel with 2 runs driven in. Luis Lameda, 2 for 3. Hendel Fry Encarnacion went 2 for 5. Had a double in the game. In the Arizona Complex League Brewers, Alexander Frias, 2 for 4, an RBI, and a run scored and a stolen base in the Complex League. Dominican Summer League goes 1-1 with the Blue taking the 12-3 win over the Orioles, and the Gold fall to the Orioles Orange team. They are just 3-9 this season. Coming up, we're going to get to the manager, Pat Murphy, as his pregame briefing with the media today sent over, and we'll talk all about what Pat Murphy has to bring up with game 2 ahead of the Guardians back for another one. This Milwaukee Brewers team, as with a win today, would climb to a season high 19 games over 500, as we noted, 31-13 since April 26th. They are now just 5 games away, a 5-game winning streak, if you will, from being a 500 ball club all time in the National League. How ridiculous does that sound? The Brewers, 2,249 wins, 2,254 losses since moving over to the National League. Now, the all-time record, they're still about 170 games or so away from that. 4,449 all-time wins, 4,621 all-time losses. But this Brewers team is now going to be in serious contention to be all-time in the National League 500 after, again, not making the playoffs for the first 8 seasons, 2000, 1, 2, 3, all the way up until 8, right? Then another break again until 2011. Then another break until 2018. But now, since then, dominant, one of the best teams across Major League Baseball since 2018. And they have almost climbed to that tippy top. A 5-game winning streak from today would do it. That's what we're looking forward to with the Milwaukee Brewers, as they've won 2 in a row. So if they get that win streak up to 7, Brewers will be an all-time 500 ball club in the National League. Coming up, Pat Murphy's pregame briefing. Don't forget, after the last pitch tonight, make the switch to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Tim Allen and me breaking down all things Brewers and Cleveland tonight immediately after game 2, 9:30. Otherwise, after last pitch, whichever comes first, that'll be right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. But enough of me talking. I know you guys want to hear manager Pat Murphy on what he has to bring up in regards to game number 2, Brandon Sproat versus Gavin Williams today as the Milwaukee Brewers gearing up for the Cleveland Guardians. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, like you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show with Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, welcome back. The leadoff show, top of the hour, 6 o'clock, just about 40 minutes away from first pitch at American Family Field. Brandon Sproat, Gavin Williams, the pitching matchup today between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Cleveland Guardians for Game 2. Let's get to the lineups.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, running through Cleveland's starting 9 today. Bazzana, Manzardo, Rocchio. That is second base, first base, shortstop today for the Guardians. Hoskins, Schneemann, Fry. That is DH, third base, right field. Quan, Halpin, Bailey, left field, center field, catcher today. Christian Yelich, the DH for Milwaukee. Churio in left field. Terang will be at second base. Contreras behind the dish, batting fourth. Bowers at first base will bat fifth. Frelick in right field will bat sixth. Garrett Mitchell in center field today, bats seventh for the Coup. Cooper Pratt is going to be the shortstop, batting eighth. And David Hamilton, your third baseman, bats ninth today for Milwaukee.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the coach's corner. It's the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Manager Pat Murphy in his pregame briefing today before Cleveland, Milwaukee, Game 2.
What's the deal with Abner? And is this normal? That
It seems like it's a little longer than normal, but I think they're going back and forth. Not sure.
does it impact anything in usage or are you more likely to use them maybe if you don't know if you're going to not be available the next day or something?
I don't think that's the case. I think we're just going about normal business, but we got to be ready for whatever is dealt, whatever hand we're dealt.
Is he how's he dealing with it?
He's letting his agent deal with it, with the league, and I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Or did you get word on Woody?
Yeah.
Everything go according to plan?
Everything went according to plan. I think you'll see him back soon.
As the next one here?
Yeah, that would be soon.
That is a helpful definition.
Thank you. Yes.
We don't get any metrics from those games?
Metrics?
Velocity's not everything. But what was the velocity?
The velocity was 90 to 92 in that game.
The more important is how he felt.
Right. He's ready to go.
When it comes to tonight's starter, have you noticed any subtle changes with Sproat and just kind of his approach and kind of the way he goes?
Yeah, he's growing as we go. Every game he's out there, he gets a taste of it. We think he's moving in the right direction. We're excited that he can, develop and keep going and he's shown signs of getting better. So he's got to find that strike zone. This is a very disciplined team. They don't leave the strike zone very much, so he's got to, pound the zone.
When a player has success in a difficult place, like he did, a really difficult place, what do you want him to take away from that?
Yeah.
What do you think a player does gain from that?
Yeah, I think he understands that, even with the cards stacked against me, a really good offensive team in a really offensive environment, I can survive and do well. I can do this. I can be a big league starter. And hopefully he gains that and takes it out there tonight.
You know who brought up the Colin Ray? Remember the Colin Ray in Colorado where
Yeah.
it seemed to like lock him in?
Yeah, sure did. Hopefully that's the case, and he continues with that consistency, because we need those starters to keep us competitive if we're going to be a great team.
You've talked a number of times about how Miz, he just wants to be great. I imagine just about anybody who makes the major leagues has to have that quality, at least in some degree. What kind of sets him apart in that regard in terms of he still wants to?
Yeah, I think some people want to. They think they want to. And some people are passionate about it and won't settle for anything else. You know? And I think that's where Miz is.
In what ways have you seen that manifest itself?
It's the way he works. Look at the weight he put on from one year to the next. Look at the strength he put on from one year to the next. That's a telling tale that, hey, look, I want to get this right. He could rest on his laurels and, hey, I was an all-star in my first year. And I pitched in the playoffs. I pitched well. I can do it. I'm fine. I'll be all right. Or you can say, I'm going home. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to do whatever I can do. I'm going to come back and dominate. And that's what he's done.
What's impressed you most with what Garrett's been able to do so far in this month of June?
Yeah, Garrett has been, it's really a bonus for us because we've had him, but he hasn't stayed healthy. Now the fact that he's stayed healthy for 70 ball games is really great. And we're watching a really good version, of maybe the comeback player of the year. A guy who, what ugly injuries he's had for 3 straight years, and to now get a chance to play and do well. It's been a big boost for us.
Do you think there's a mental impact for him of kind of proving to himself that he's been able to stay healthy for an extended stretch here?
I do. I think that anytime a kid gets injured that many times and comes back, you're going to be cautious and you're going to doubt yourself. Do I still have it? And he's worked through those things. It's been pretty fun to watch. You still got a long way to go. You can't punch out 30-some% of the time and survive here.
Did Quinn have his follow-up yesterday? And any information on that?
Yeah, I think that news is forthcoming. Yeah.
Quinn's not back yet, is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's. What else we got? Can we ask a question? Go ahead.
When you scout them, do you see similarities with the Guardians and Brewers? I feel like that's been a common topic for a couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know their team super well.
Yeah.
I know the guy that got injured is a pretty special player. But I do. They're disciplined. They play hard. They got a lot of guys that have a lot of give a darn, about winning. And, a lot of names you don't recognize, as everyday names. But guys are good players. For those of us that are really following the game, to the nth degree, you know their names. The people don't know their names nationally, but they play the game right.
How valuable do you think Bryce will be to Cooper just every day of the daily work, but also just on the field?
You hear about it in so many great cases. You heard about Freddie Freeman's impact when he was in Atlanta on those young infielders, and you hear about it the same way with Bryce. He's going to help Cooper develop in his own way, and that'll be a fun thing to follow.
It's not a direct apples to apples comparison, but Bryce being 23 when he was a rookie, Cooper being 21 as a rookie, are there similarities in the youth of what to learn?
Of course, they're different players, totally different players, but I think that like Sophia mentioned, this will be a mentoring program for Bryce, And Bryce really knows his trade, and he knows that side of things too. He can go over and play shortstop too, so he knows that, and I think he'll really help in this process for Cooper to get comfortable and get his feet on the ground. And I always say when rookies get here, it's like they're on roller skates. They can go really fast, but sometimes they need to just be on the ground and go slower. And I think Bryce will help him.
Were there similarities, Murph? Like when Bryce came up, do you remember knowing what he would be as a hitter yet?
Yeah, you didn't know. With Bryce, you didn't know for sure he could be this as a hitter. But by the second time around, you could just see it. Like, you know what? This guy's ready to go. He's ready to take off. And then it doesn't always happen on your terms because, the game deals you what the game deals you. But I think the same way with Cooper. Cooper's going to be a different player. He's not going to come into his power until later on in his career, in my opinion. But I think right now we can expect him to be an on-base guy, a guy that can do some things offensively for us. That we all know his defense will be solid. He just is a good defender. But now I think we'll see the way his offense kind of moves into being. I think he'll be an on-base guy. I think he'll hit for average at some point, and then someday he'll hit for damage.
Is there a comp that you can think back to?
I want to say J.J. Hardy.
That's the one that I hear, right?
Yeah, I want to say that. But that's taking on some pretty big, trying to fill some pretty big shoes. But I think he can get there.
And he's a guy, too, like you were describing Cooper, where his power came later in his career and was a good fielder to start.
Is that like makes the play he's supposed to make every time?
Yes.
How do you think that's part of that?
Yes. Yep. You're shutting this off, Mike?
It's a natural pause.
I didn't think so at all. Does anybody agree with Mike? Does anyone in here agree with Mike?
No. Not even close.
Natural pause. You're just tired of it, Mike. You were just tired of it, so you shut it down. It's awful. It's awful. Young lady, ask a question.
Oh, no, I knew you were going to do this.
You did know. So then you should have been prepared.
I know. No, I was. I had a question. Can you talk, this team has been really good, I think, at developing players, especially pitchers, and kind of, people who maybe weren't doing the best at their previous assignments. I would say Johan coming from the Red Sox, how do you see, is that your strategy to develop these pitchers, or does it just kind of come naturally being in this kind of environment?
Yeah, I think that the environment really helps it because they come here, they know they got an opportunity. Wow, these guys want me to pitch. They're not, I'm on the team, and I think that helps a lot. And then they start to find themselves, and in that process, they're around other people that are saying, "Hey, man, this is how we do it," or "Hey, this is what we need from you." And I think it all just kind of blends together, and the environment grabs them and takes them, and they flourish.
Is that a good one?
Good question. Good question. I mean, you're competing with McCalvy, so you are.
I know, that's why I sit in the back. I'm just happy to be here.
On that note, we're seeing yesterday everybody on the warning track that had something to do with Coop, right? Whether it be player development staff, whether it be scouting staff, assistant general managers. On days like yesterday, you kind of look around and realize what kind of a group you have here.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are looking for credit. Is that what they're doing?
No, I'm just trying to give them the credit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family atmosphere. It really is. I mean, little things matter, and those little things matter to the player. And I think that's just a statement of what kind of people we have that work around here. You know what I mean? We really do care about this. The way the fans embraced him right away. That's kind of cool. I heard the fans yelling "Coo!" That's kind of cool. I'm sure they did that when Cecil Cooper was here way back when. yeah, I think that'll be pretty fun for him.
And Murph, I was talking to Scotty Nichols, the guy that scouted Cooper, and he said that he saw him play at the East Cobb tournament or something, and he was like, the instincts just jumped off the page, and I wanted this guy really bad. So like you have set, and you're gonna not take credit for this, but you have set the standard of how to play the game. The guys that really don't play the game the way that you demand, they stick out like sore thumbs. They don't look like they belong. So like top down, even to the scouts and the area scouts are like, these are the types of guys that we want and we're looking for.
I think that that's important that we recognize in this market, we have to have a certain type player. We can't live with a guy that doesn't know how to base run, or live with a guy that doesn't value ball strike discernment, or doesn't understand that you can't give up free bases as a pitcher. And I think that's a good standard to have. Like these are the type ball players that win for us. And you're not going to go sign a free agent bat that's going to hit homers, because that costs a lot of money. You're not going to sign the free agent starting pitcher that costs a lot of money, because that's not how we do business. So we have to develop it, but it has to start with the right guy. You know what I mean? And then if he becomes that big bat, wonderful. Or if we sign some guy off the scrap heap that's struggling so far in his career, and we get him and he gets rejuvenated and he gives us 4 or 5 years, Jake Bowers, you know what I mean, or Andrew Vaughn, that's the way it'll be. But generally speaking, we got to go take a kid, look at a kid like Pratt and go, wow, this guy knows how to play the game, and this is our type of guy. So I think we probably emphasize that. And I think it's a good, recipe for teams in our situation.
Do you think that makes development a little easier if you have guys who have some of those core traits like ball strike, baseball IQ, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it makes it easier for sure. But then you're not going to get everybody's not going to be like that. You have to still teach the game and develop some other guys, and you're hoping it rubs off, on the guys that are just pure talent and just need that little baseball IQ. Some of them pick it up. Some of them don't. And those are the ones you trade.
If you have a guy who maybe doesn't have that right away, what are you looking for that tells you he's got the capacity to understand this stuff and capacity to learn this
That's
stuff?
what you're looking for. You're looking for the awareness. Does the guy have the awareness? This is how I got to play the game right now in order to get to the next level. And then I got to play the game like this. And then I got to, at some point, smash the ball. You know what I mean? All right. I know all the other things. Now I'm able to smash the ball because I know the ball strike. And you're going to smash the ball more often when the ball's in the zone. And you're not putting yourself in counts that, give you pitches that you're not going to be able to smash. So, yeah, very much the situation where they have to have the awareness. Okay, I need to do something different. I can't just keep swinging and missing.
There is manager Pat Murphy after the briefing before Game 2 between the Brewers and the Cleveland Guardians. All right, coming up on the other side of things, we'll get you some keys to the game, some last-minute notes on what you need to know before Game number 2. Brandon Sproat, Gavin Williams for Brewers Guardians. The leadoff show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. One more time, lineups for the game today. Travis Bazzana is at second base, leading off for Cleveland. Kyle Manzardo at first base. Brian Rocchio at shortstop rounds out the top three. Rhys Hoskins, the DH. Daniel Schneemann at third base. David Fry in right field. That is 4 through 6. Stephen Kwan in left field. Petey Halpin, the center fielder. Patrick Bailey catching. That is the bottom three for the Guardians. Brewers lineup, Christian Yelich, the DH, Jackson Chourio in left field, Bryce Terang at second base, William Contreras catching, Jake Bauers first base, Sal Frelick in right field, Garrett Mitchell center field, Cooper Pratt the shortstop, and David Hamilton at third base. There's your 1 through 9 for the Milwaukee Brewers today.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the leadoff show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Keys to the game, how we always close things out here on the leadoff show. You got to point to Brandon Sproat. Has he figured something out? And we were talking about this a little bit yesterday on the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show. That number 5 starter spot. Maybe it's only a role for the regular season, and by no means are we ready to start saying Brandon Sproat should start a playoff game for the Milwaukee Brewers this year. But that number 5 starting rotation role, Brandon Sproat, could he get to that spot? Over the last 2 games, as we said, in his 11 innings, it's been just 4 earned runs, a 3.27 ERA, 2.5 points lower than his previous lowest month ERA. Robert Gasser showed up in his game yesterday. It's now time for Brandon Sproat, you would think, to do more of the same if he wants to contribute in 2026. Brandon Sproat, big key to the game today. Otherwise, offensively, only 2 men got a hit yesterday for the Brewers. It was Bryce Terang and it was Garrett Mitchell. Terang was 2 for 3. Garrett Mitchell was 2 for 3. Each of them with a single and a home run as well. You would like to see that get a little more dispersed throughout the lineup. Sal Frelick, not only some previous success against Gavin Williams, but also I got plenty of people commenting, where's Andrew Vaughn? Sal Frelick, you're going to be a part of today's game if you're going to keep Andrew Vaughn out of the lineup, because a lot of people want to see what he can do with everyday at-bats. Against the righty today, Pat Murphy electing to go with Frelick. That's going to do it for us here with pregame coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Tommy Wirtz been here with you since 5 o'clock. Make sure you guys tune in at 9:30 or after the last pitch. You make the switch to the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show. Tim Allen and me breaking down all things Brewers Guardians immediately following game 2. You'll hear from the manager, any other player sound we might have after the game. I'm sure if Cooper Pratt gets that hit today, they'll talk to him. Otherwise, usually we're pretty good. Probably Brandon Sproat being the starting pitcher in the Brewers organization today. With that, we'll get you guys all caught up on game 3 tomorrow, as it'll be for the Brewers, Shane Drowan versus Parker Messick of the Cleveland Guardians. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This has been the leadoff show. One more thing before you go. Don't forget, send them home.